He lied to my face, smiled like he'd gotten away with it, bragged about working so hard on a report he literally copy-pasted from the internet. What he didn't know, I already had a plan. One that would ruin his vacation, drain his bank account, crush his pride, and stay completely legal. If you've ever been underestimated, disrespected, or just itching to see a cocky liar get exactly what they deserve, hit that like button, subscribe, and follow. And buckle in. Because this is the kind of revenge that doesn't just sting, it lingers. I'm Dr. Elias, a cancer researcher by trade, but I also guest lecture in medical imaging at a European university. I'm in my late 20s, not native to the country, and barely older than some of my students. That made me an easy mark in their eyes. Inexperienced, gullible, disposable. At first, I let them believe it. Big mistake for them. My module isn't easy. It combines theory with hands-on coding in image processing. Some students rise to the challenge, some scrape by, and then there are the lazy opportunists, the ones who don't just cheat, they flaunt it. Students were required to submit 2 technical reports worth 20% of the final grade, enough to tip the balance between passing and failing. One afternoon, I started grading. Report after report, identical. Same wording, same errors. Some were copied verbatim from past submissions. Google confirmed it. Sloppy, shameless. 98% plagiarism match. And not even good work. The reports were full of mistakes no competent student would make. I gave them zeros. Quietly, methodically. But it wasn't the cheating that angered me. It was what happened next.
A few days later, I ran into one of the culprits. Smiling, charming, confident. He told me how much effort he'd put into the report, lying directly to my face, performing even, as if I were too foreign or too naive to notice. I felt my pulse in my ears, my hands clenched, but I didn't flinch. I smiled back. That's when I decided I wouldn't just fail him. I would teach him the long, slow, humiliating way. My exam was the last one of the semester. After that, students usually went home. But here's a neat rule. After grades are posted, students have 3 days to request a grade review, in person. Miss it, and the grade is locked. 4 students had zeros for their plagiarized reports. If I gave them 50% instead, they'd just barely fail. Perfect. Meanwhile, I bumped up students who genuinely tried but fell short. Cheaters had no clue I was on to them. Grades went live. Emails poured in. I don't understand my report grade. I worked really hard. Can I book a review meeting? Oh, yes, you can. University rules required in-person meetings hundreds of miles away. They booked flights, trains, buses, cutting vacations short, and I waited. The first student arrived, smug as ever. Thanks for seeing me, doctor. I just don't understand the grade. I opened his report. Page 1.
Let's go through it together. Mistake by mistake, line by line. I asked, why did you use this algorithm here? What was your approach to noise filtering? How did you determine your thresholding parameters? Sweat formed on his forehead. His fingers twitched. He had no clue. 2 hours later, exhausted and humiliated, he left with the grade unchanged. Then the next. Then the next. 3 straight days of academic death by 1,000 paper cuts. They finally realized I knew all along. Fake smiles cracked. Posture slumped. Excuses. I thought I understood it better. I need this to graduate. None admitted cheating. Admitting would be worse. Calm. Focused. Unyielding. And when the last student finally left, I smiled. Enjoy your summer. See you next year, in my class. This wasn't about failing them. It was about letting them fail themselves. Wasted money, ruined vacations, hours of technical grilling with zero payoff. They thought I was soft, foreign, easy. But instead, I let them feel the weight of their choices, not in anger, not in cruelty, in education. A lesson they'll never forget. Revenge doesn't need yelling or drama. Sometimes the most powerful justice is letting someone walk straight into their own trap and then forcing them to sit there while you explain in painful detail why they lost everything. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and tell us in the comments what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen. And don't forget to subscribe and follow for more true stories where karma doesn't just catch up, it shows up early, takes notes, and holds office hours.